Hi, everyone, and welcome to Live Talks. My name is Zach. I'm here with my co-host, Lady P. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Nice to be here.
So today I want us to have a discussion about something that I think most of us who have come to this country have gone through. And when we came to this country, like me, I was young. I wasn't so young, but I was a young person. And most of people came in with age at 19, 20 years old. One thing our parents were telling us is, or anybody from our country was telling us, hey, when you go there, your hard work is what is going to make you successful. You have to work hard. You have to put in hours. You have to do this. When we got to this country, it was also that, hey, you have to put in a lot of hours. You have to work hard. You have to go to school. You have to do this. But my concern is what I've noticed once we've been here, like maybe 10 or so years, is like we took the advice, but we're taking it too far.
Mm-hmm.
You're finding people are workaholics. People don't leave workplaces. I mean, especially I'm talking about like maybe men, with ladies. Sometimes they have kids who can slow them down. They're working at home and they go to work maybe a few days here and there. But you're talking about, you find out like men are workaholics. They work every day. They're working so much. They always thinking about, what they're going to do. Maybe next project they have, they want to buy this, they want to do this. They're preparing for their retirement, which most people think like, oh, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to retire. Maybe when I'm age 60, I don't want to be in this country. I want to go back home and retire. I want to have this something. But, to be honest, this thing is taking toll on a lot of people's health. We're talking about their mental health. It's also affecting their relationships in many different ways. So I don't know. Have you noticed that and the trend, and what is happening? What do we need to do to be able to survive in this situation?
Yeah, like when you come over here, of course, we do take the advice. Even before you're given the advice, I'm going to the land of honey and milk. So you're coming here, knowing you're coming in, dive in and get the dollars,
Mm-hmm.
So you also come prepared because you want to make that money. But yeah, like you said, I've seen people fall into that hole of being workaholics. And, there's a difference between hardworking na ukikuwa workaholic. Oh my God. I don't know what, with bills in America, you gotta work. There's no like in between. You gotta have to go to work, because if you don't have shelter, you don't have food, you gotta have to work hard. The only thing is we have to differentiate those two. I'm working hard or I'm being a workaholic. When you're becoming a workaholic is when you're working hard with the exclusion of everything else, family, friends, your time to play or do whatever you like to do, Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Like there gotta be a balance on anything.
Yeah.
Even in Chinese, I think they had something like the yin and yang. It's something on the old days I was talking about. There should be a balance on everything a person does.
Mm.
But that's where it comes like, well, we are looking for this. We want to be aggressive. We want to get money. We want to get as much as done as possible on your prime years.
Yeah, true.
But if you focus on this work so much, there are some things which suffer.
Yeah.
There's some things which you don't get their attention. For instance, maybe your relationship, how you relate with maybe your partner and stuff might suffer.
It will suffer.
It will suffer to an extent, because, for instance, if you probably working so much and then you don't get time together, you don't talk a lot, there's some things you may not know what's going on with the other partners and stuff. And also the kids might not see your presence. So it may take a long time for you to notice, like, oh, my son has changed, or maybe my daughter has something going on. And that's why some people have come to notice, like, maybe at 17 years old, you was 18-year-old child. Your child was in depression for so many years.
And you
never noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's about like wanting to get the balance. And one of the things I see is when you work so much, hata mimi like nikifanya kazi sana, the days I'm working so much, actually, like ile siku niko off, my brain shuts. The more I work, you become easily irritated.
Triggered.
You are triggered by the
Big,
simple
small.
stuff. So you don't want you kind of like your brain and your body is not like, you don't want kind of
It
like
wants
energy
to
stuff.
shut down.
It wants to shut down. It's telling you like, hey, you can't absorb even a little thing like this. It annoys you.
Yeah.
And that's what people were talking about, like workplace burnout, and when people are working so much, so you gotta take like a mental break. But another thing maybe you can talk about is well, when you're working this much to save for your future, or maybe to save for the kids, and you are paying the bills, which of course everybody has to kind of meet them. But are you taking care of your body yourself? Like, are you really like maybe taking time off and going to a nice place? Maybe you admire. I wanted to go to. Maybe you wanted to go to Jamaica or Mexico or some place, or you wanted to go to Colorado, and just stay in a little isolated place. So are you taking time to really like take care of your body?
Sometimes it can be hard, especially if you have all these responsibilities. Now you feel you are selfish if you take time, money to take care of yourself. And that's why a lot of people don't really do that, because it feels like now they're being selfish. They should continue working and pulling that money for something else than using that money for themselves. Oh my God.
That's a very true statement though.
So also the song that says mauna pesa zinatosha kama itakufanyia nini itakula pesa. But honestly, somebody's being like one partner, how it affects a family. If one partner is a workaholic, now there's no balance for familia with the spouse and the kids. What happens is now there's no connection between you and your wife, because connection comes with the physical, the spending time together, and those two are equal. So there's no connection. Transactional. I pay the bills, I'm working, and that is it. And so unapata kuna your connection. Now your partner start feeling ako lonely, and although ako in marriage na wewe ako lonely, anaanza kuwa resentive towards you. And then with the kids, it affects them in a way that as much as whatever you do for your kids money wise, they will never see that. They will see the time you played ball with them. If you ask my son to what favorable moments is with the dad, it will be when they did something together. It won't be like, when he bought me some panda shoes, when he bought me some, they don't remember all that. So you spending time with your kid is very, very valuable, especially if you're spending time, for you to spend time with your, like if you're a man, for you to spend time with your boy child, because inamsaidia kushape himself. He also eza kucopy some needs from you, because if he's not doing that, he's copying from outside, right? And what happens with these kids is, if they're not getting the attention they need, they start acting out, so they can get any attention. Because sometimes kama apate good attention, atatafuta any attention. So you get them, they're acting out, they're doing all this kind of stuff, and you're like, these behavior issues, where are they coming from? That's where most of them come from.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, because there's a lot of external influence with the internet revolution and this AI and everything that's going on. There's a high level of influence to kids. So, and nowadays, because we live in a country whereby you're gonna meet in the evening, if you work at night or you work during the day. Kids come from school, they go to their room, they come, they eat, they go back to their room. It will take a long time for you to notice like something is off, and maybe it may be too late. But the hard work that we were told to be very hardworking is an important thing. We have to work hard, but we also have to take our mind back and ask ourselves, like, what is the balance we have between this hard work and balancing it with family? And especially, I also look at you yourself taking care of yourself, because one thing we forget, like when you get to age 60 and maybe you have saved this much, you forget you're gonna like your energy is not gonna be the same as this.
No, you're gonna use that money for sickness.
Yeah, there's some things you may be healthy, but there's some things which may be off. You may not be able to do. You may not want to travel, right? So if you had really something you want to do, like, I'm going to maybe travel to this place, I'm going to go to just sit, maybe run in the morning in the beach or somewhere. So if you don't do it now, by the time you get to that time, that may not be interesting to you at all.
It won't be interesting.
So that's the thing. Like for you, as much as you are putting in this hard work, and then you go there, you get your money, you say, I'm working on this project. There's some people working on really like bigger projects. Mtu maybe alinunua shamba anajenga, which is taking like maybe a couple of years to build, amalize kujenga ndio maybe apate watu wa kuchukua hizo nyumba. It takes, as long as you're working on that project, just say like, you know what, this year I'm gonna put aside maybe 3% of what I make, and then it's gonna take me somewhere.
That would be really good. Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna go maybe to a nice restaurant and just have a meal one time. It's something like that. So
Something you like to do.
It's something you like. So you can take care of yourself personally as you're working hard on those ones. But sasa, the whole scenario ni ile like tunafanya kazi, and of course we have all these other needs, the family, your kids, your bills and everything. So you forget about yourself. But all you are thinking about, like, hey, at the age of 55 or at the age of this or 60, I want to be able, like, in the end, and you need to relax. Nianza sasa kukuwa na life.
Yeah, which will be too late. Yeah, that is true. We need to take care of ourselves, because if you are not uko vizuri, you won't be able to do all this that you're doing. So it's important that you take care of yourself so you can be able to sustain that work that you're doing, especially mental health, which is not spoken to very, very much, especially to men.
Najua sisi Africans, Africa, mtu akisema mental health tunaona hiyo ndio wazimu.
I know men will be like, I go talk to who? What?
No, lakini unajua acha nikwambie, just a brief note on that point ya mental health and stuff. The more it's one of those things like you can't, the more you think about it and the more people want to, like, you need therapy and you do, the more you become mental.
I disagree. What?
No, because this thing is, to me, that's, as you know, once you have a problem and you keep thinking, oh, I'm down, I'm this way, it keeps, the more you think about it, and then if you see a therapist, they can help you out, you get over that, and then your mind goes back again, like, oh, you know what, ninataka kufanya nimekasirika, nataka kujinyonga, unaambiwa kufanya haraka. But people, but hapa jaribu saizi, at this times mtu aseme hivyo,
they're gonna do it.
They will do it.
They want to do it, and that's what we have to recognize. We are not in that age yenye watu walikuwa nasema hivyo wakisik attention. But honestly, right now, therapy helps. Yeah. Therapy helps, and people are built different. But wacha tuseme hivi, tumelelewa ni
sasa before even you get to going to therapy, I want to think unafanya nini. You are your own therapist. You also have to work on your body yourself, and that's what it is like. Unajua kuna venye ulikuwa unafanya job, maybe a regular job somewhere, you went to school, you getting this job now. Some people have advanced to higher degrees. Initially mtu unasema nikifika hii level maybe sitakuwa nifanya job sana, but ukifika hiyo level and then you see like, oh, there are so many opportunities open, so if I go to another higher level, I can do what? If I get another part-time job, I can be able to get this. And this is the thing that puts you in a very bad situation of like, you're working so much, but your body, you're not taking care of your body. So kazi inakukula nafanya nini? And at the end of the day, itafika mahali uta break down, and then you will need some external therapist to work with you. Instead, you could have fixed it yourself, like your own therapist. If I'm gonna go skydiving, let me go nifanya nini? Something fun.
If you're able to do that, that is awesome. Of course, we should be able to try and be our own therapist. But as I said, even if you're okay, it's okay to go to a therapist. Just see them as a life coach. That you don't have to necessarily go talk about, oh, I'm sad, this is going on. You can go there to talk about a job that you want to do, and you don't know how to go about with it. I'm a business, Nowadays, therapy is very extensive.
What I've come to respect is like anybody who is trained on their specific profession. Mwenye ameenda kama yeye ni, a psychiatrist or psychologist and whatever they have done, or maybe a counselor, and they have been trained kufanya hiyo kazi, and they have experience, they've been working with different people. There's a way they handle their stuff. There's they know how to approach your problem. Sometimes we may say like, you know what, they're just people talking to you. No, it's not that. I've never been to one. I mean, but that's exactly like somebody who has been trained exactly what to do. And with working, you have experience, you can do what.
You know what I recommend though? I recommend if you're going to therapy and you are from a certain region, like maybe you're from Africa, you're from Asia, there's some traditions, there's some cultures that our people cannot understand. If you're looking for a therapist, look for a therapist who can understand where you're coming from. The traumas that we go through, that people call traumas, for us, it's okay. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go to a person that doesn't understand that, itakuwa sana kwambia hiyo unajua ni trauma, hawakuwa nafaa kukufanyia hivyo, so wame put things in your head that you are not even thinking about.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's say it this way. To remember, you can take care of yourself.
You can.
Because we are not like, your body can give you signals sometimes, but we don't read them. Ukiangalia gari nowadays, you know, the newer cars, even the older cars they will show you like your tire is flat. There's
Check
less air in it, you know, there's check engine, there's change
Something.
oil. So the computer is programmed to say like, you know, you need to take care of me this way. But wewe kama like unafanya job, you are looking for this money. You are working so hard to make sure like you have something because you came here, you didn't have anything, but you want to build up yourself. You want to make sure your kids are taken care of. Are you looking for those, like, you know, the signals, like my body is asking for arrest, my body is asking for a little bit of mental break, break.
You know, probably most of us do pick on it, but then you're like, my responsibilities. You're like, okay, this is being selfish if I do this. You're like, okay, I'm finishing this project. As soon as I finish this project,
then I'll take a break
I
for
will
a
take
month.
a break. Before you finish that project, kuekelea mwisho, beshtaka nakuja na kwambia, Aki wewe.
There's a prime.
Guy.
Plot hapa.
It's cheap. This is the cheapest I've seen. And then before you know it, you're into it. And that's how you go. And at the end of the day, you end up being in a financial crisis or strain more than the person that is not even working as you are.
Yeah, I mean, it won't make sense if you like you run a project that way. There's a prime thing here you need to, and then you know what? Actually, I got something. Sina pesa, can you get me maybe 5K? Nienda ni work it down hapa. And then so how is it be ni kuona uko kwa Miami?
Tell me.
Nachi fanya nini? Alafu na uko na pesa zangu. You know hujalilipa. So that's the thing that feels like, you know, it feels like if you keep going in those kind of cycles, you won't really attend to your body.
You can't.
And these things, once they keep building, they'll catch you at one point. Either you have some, maybe unaweza kuwa na stress level inakuwa higher.
You get
and then
blood pressures.
Blood pressure.
Now the things, the
real diseases will just creep in because you are not taking time for yourself.
You're not even eating right. Probably you're just, you don't even have time. You're just eating fast food.
I mean, for instance, for people who like maybe go out there, we have like truck drivers. You can go there. You're working so hard, make so much money, but you have to be on the road. For you to make money, you have to drive. You have that truck. So what that means you are probably not eating better. You are probably not sleeping well.
You're not eating well.
You know, you are, no matter how you are sitting down, you are just driving, but it's stressful. Your body feels the stress. Ukitoka huko, at least, you know, it gets to a point where like, wacha niende ni shughulikie my body, ni attend to my family, I also attend to the kids. So we have that like one thing, like we're growing and we have like a healthy relationship. Badala ya kufanya kazi, unafanya mpaka ifike mahali like it grounds you down. At the end of the day, uangalie like hizi vitu zote, I was just doing them for nothing.
Because you can lose your family, all kind of stuff, your body.
Okay. It was nice having you for this conversation. I hope to see you next time. And subscribe, give us a comment, and also keep, following our channel for more content like this. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.